How to work the Skype thing. Oh, I am so sorry about that. We lost Duke, unfortunately. He said he couldn't hear us so much. We're going to start the game over again. John Kasich, on the stage or off the stage?
Get off the stage.
Kasich off the stage. I'm going to agree with everybody on that. It's going to get a little harder from this point on, given how everything was. Chris Christie, Russ Gallo, on the stage or off the stage?
Off.
Why?
Chris Christie is, you know when someone's not acting like themselves? Like almost like a bipolar type disorder. No offense to all of our bipolar listeners, several of which are at the bar with us now. No offense to the bipolar listeners, but Chris Christie's not acting like himself. Chris Christie was Donald Trump before Donald Trump was Donald Trump on the political stage. And now he's trying to act like an elder statesman. Chris Christie, be yourself, dude, or get off the stage.
Watson, what do you say?
I agree. Because of the fact that one of the things that we knew a long time ago was that he was one of those Manchurian candidates. He's basically wiped the butt of the liberal progressives and all of a sudden now has a backbone against the very people we need to put down. No, thank you. You sounded really good, but I'm not buying your pep rally preaching, brother.
All right. Going to keep getting harder because we're going to start getting to some of those arch conservatives now, or supposedly arch conservatives. Russ Gallo, Rand Paul, on or off the stage?
He's got to stay. I love Rand Paul. Rand Paul is a good man, lots of ideas. He keeps the Republicans honest. Any libertarian on the stage is a good thing for the Republican Party.
Watson, what do you say?
I'm mixed on that, only because of the fact that while I voted for, while I was ticked off how the Republicans basically shysted Ron Paul in the past, I did vote for the Libertarian candidates in both primary elections. But I'm mixed right now. I'm really mixed because he waffles for me too many times. And while I do want a Libertarian up there, he's a little bit too much John Kerry for me. So I'm going to say get off the stage for now.
All right, he says off the stage. We're going to bring in some listeners that are here in the bar with us. Hi, sir. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, John Morrison from Queens.
All right, John, what do you do?
I am a member of the National Guard with our good friend Russ Gallo behind enemy lines.
Oh, God. Is he one of your commanding officers?
He absolutely is. Two-drink minimum when we're training.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me ask you this. Overall impression of the debate, biggest winner, biggest loser. What do you think?
Biggest winner of the debate in my personal humble opinion,
it's
Ben
radio,
Carson.
You got to talk. Ben Carson's the winner.
Ben Carson.
All right, and why do you think Ben Carson won?
Ben Carson's the winner because he actually expressed some skill that we didn't know he had. He does have some worldviews, and everybody penalized him for not having a record, not having the actual experience to act on a world stage. He does have that experience. Biggest loser tonight has to be Paul. Paul took it too much on the chin. I love Paul. I stand with Rand, but he took it on the chin too hard tonight. He's our big loser tonight.
All right. Well, thanks for coming down to the event and everything. Glad to have you on. Russ, you're bringing in people from your unit now. That's pretty good. Talk about behind enemy lines. That's like way behind enemy lines.
Listen, we got to get citizen soldiers on this free speech train. John's a great man, brilliant, by the way. One of the guys I lean on all the time. I respect his opinion. Ben Carson is a great candidate. In any other year, in any other cycle, Ben Carson, Ted Cruz, these are the guys I would be like heavily leaning towards. By the way, I still think Ted Cruz would be the best candidate to be our president. But with that said, Gene, Donald Trump is the quarterback of the high school football team. And he is playing a game against the high school chess team.
That's a great analogy,
Who
actually.
wins? You know what I mean? The cool guy wins.
And, this goes back to the idea of manliness that you wrote in your article on our blog, www.behindenemylinesradio.us. Check it out while you're listening. Watson, I want your take on Ben Carson's night. First of all, the suit. I thought it was a great look. He distinguished himself from everybody else, showed a little style. And he had a great night. I think he came off better than what people thought of him, especially when you talk about foreign policy.
You know what? Okay. Neurosurgeon, brilliant guy, awesome thing. My only contention with Ben, and while he is not the establishment, he's a brilliant person. I was expecting a little bit more chutzpah. I don't know if I'm just really liking what I see in the chutzpah and Cruz and Jindal. He came off a little bit too soft spoken for me, and while and you know what? I don't want, as one of the candidates said today, let's not put another novice in there because we're dealing with the hell of having the current novice in court in power right now. Put a don't put an intelligent black man in there to replace the idiot that's ruining our country. So I've got to say, get off the stage, Ben.
Republican members in Congress ran for whatever reasons they ran for, which were all conservative for the most part that won. What have they done since they've been elected? We've controlled both houses of Congress since January. It's now September, late September. And what bills have they passed for Barack Obama to veto? Have they passed a bill to repeal and replace Obamacare? That's in every one of their damn platforms. They haven't.
Well,
so, you know what?
I'm there with them 100%.
Novices, I'll take a novice. Ben Carson, I love you, brother. Stay on that stage.
All right, go ahead, Watson. You get to respond now.
So, and I agree 100% because even as I was pulling the levers for the Republicans and I'm making my vote, I even went to some of the delegates that were right in my face before I went to pull the lever, and I said, "Listen, don't disappoint me," because I said to them in 2012, "Don't disappoint me like you did in 2004. You had my full support, and you did diddly squat for the first 2 years." Yes, did I think that we were going to have a limp Congress? Even though the conservatives own the majority, yes, I knew they would do exactly what they're doing right now. I just wanted them to prove us right, that they were not going to stand up and have the cojones to deal with the dictator in charge. However, if we and mind you, while I believe that Donald is really strong and everything like that, his personality, and I think they said it. I think it was Carly who said it right now more than anything else. Donald's for Donald. He's not for anybody else. He's not for any other particular party. He's for the party of Donald. And that what makes him dangerous. And I really believe that even though Ben is a smart, intelligent individual, we need someone with a little bit more force and backbone who can deal with these situations. We don't need a soft-spoken individual. We need someone with balls who's going to get there. And again, I think Ben Carson's a great guy. He may be a great Surgeon General, but President of the United States, no.
All right, man. Hey, Watson, do me a favor, because I got to bring Vito in on next, and I'm going to try to get you on towards the end of the show with some final thought stuff. Great analysis, by the way. And if you want to hear more of this, Watson, tell them where they can listen to you, especially your live show, the replays, all the good stuff, and, of course, your blog.
Okay. Watson Prunier on Battle for Freedom on War Radio on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My website is freedom.com, battleforfreedom.com, as well as you can follow me on Twitter at Watson Prunier. That's Prunier. Replays come on Wednesdays at about 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but you do have a live player on my website at battleforfreedom.com that you can play all the previous broadcasts.
And you know what? I really got to apologize for Watson I screwed up the phone lines and I didn't really have him on as much as I should have tonight. We're going to get him on again soon because as you hear, folks, he's got some great analysis. He's got some great insight, a great perspective. I listen to his show as much as I can with my schedule, but I always listen to it on podcast. Check it out. You'll be glad you did. Watson, you're the man. Thanks so much for coming on. I'm going to talk to you real soon, and thanks for helping out with this whole situation, even though it's been kind of a little bit of a train wreck. I appreciate your help, pal.
It's all good. It's all good.
Thank you, pal. All right, so now what we're going to do at this point, this is the part of the show where I get to talk about Cafe on the Hill, of course, here at 153 Avenue U in Brooklyn, New York. And what a great place for us. The food was fantastic. The entertainment on the TV was great. And our bartender, Carmine, he's kind of a heavy pour.
I love the man. Great bar, great restaurant. The food is terrific. If you're ever looking for authentic Italian food, first of all, my friend Carmine owns the place. His mother's the one who cooks. They don't have any illegal immigrants in the kitchen. Nothing like that. The mother's in the background cooking the food. You don't even need a menu. You come in, you say, listen, I want sausage and peppers. Guess what you have? You have sausage and peppers. You want chicken parmesan? You got chicken parmesan. The bar is great, restaurant's great, terrific place, beautiful area, Gravesend, Brooklyn, New York. Be here, 153 Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, Cafe on the Hill. Had to plug my friend. Thanks for letting us use the place, Carmine.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic stuff. All right, this is the part of the show I regret. Because I got to bring Vito and Vito on. Vito, wait. Get away from the girls. Can you get over here, please? God.
There's
all the
one
time.
74-year-old woman here for the record.
And they always find that one. Let's get a little crowd in here on the mic, but we don't care. V and V. Scoot over here. We're going to get everybody in. What's up, boys? How we doing?
How's everything going, Gene? We are rooting for Cruz. Those who said that Trump went tonight, they're smoking something. The winner was Carly, even though she's a rhino. But Cruz, holding his own, watch, he's going to be the nominee by 2016.
I think Carly did win. Cruz holding his own. I think Donald Trump slipped a little bit. I think he was acting like a child. Some parts of the
Did
debate.
anybody notice that towards the end of the debate when they started talking about facts, Donald was nowhere to be found? I just want to say that right now. He was nowhere to be found.
Surprise.
First of all, I disagree. I'll expand on this later on when we get rid of these two vetoes. But Donald Trump talks about facts. He talks about the specifics of his plan all the time. You guys are just not listening.
That's very interesting. By the way, Donald Trump's tax plan, if you're a true conservative, as Mr. Gallo claims he is, you wouldn't support a tax plan that increases taxes on hedge fund managers because you believe that you have a right to your own money and nobody has the right to take it away from you, no matter what the progressive income tax says. By the way, Donald Trump supports a progressive income tax. He wasn't a big fan of the flat tax.
Hey, we'll see in 2 weeks, he said.
Oh, can I answer this? Hold on, Vito. I'm going to let you in. Vito D, you can jump in for a
By the way,
second.
can someone take a picture of the 4 Italians huddling around one mic?
Oh, yeah, we do need a picture of this. But I got a Vito P attacked me, so I get a 30-second response. Number one, Donald Trump's plan is not going to be released for another 2 weeks, so you have no idea what the plan is. Number two, hedge funds. Define a hedge fund there, Vito.
Matter, Russ. I
No,
thought
no, no.
I thought
Define
you
a
have
hedge fund.
I thought you have a right to your life, liberty, and
Yeah,
property.
so I want to raise, hold on. I want to raise taxes on child molesters. Right or wrong?
You what?
No?
This
Okay.
doesn't make any sense.
You don't even know what a hedge fund is. Define a hedge fund, tell me if it's wrong, and then we'll debate.
Hedge
If you
funds
don't know
are
what a
where
hedge fund is, there's no debate here.
Hedge fund is-
I'll meet you next week. We'll talk about it
Hedge
next week.
fund,
Go
it's where the big money goes. That's where the big money players go ahead and invest their money. But explain something to me, Russ. So just because I have lots of money means that I should go ahead and get taxed from it? From Donald Trump?
Tell me what a hedge fund is, and we can continue the conversation.
I just said it.
If you don't know what it is, what is it?
A hedge fund is where the big money goes to invest. That's where the big investors are.
The big money goes to invest in oil, they go into invest in real estate. That's not a definition of a hedge fund. You tell me what a hedge fund is, and then I'll debate you whether or not we should tax them more.
I think I already got that.
We'll
but
save
go
it for
ahead.
next week, Gene. If Vito has a strong opinion on something, he's got to tell me what it is. I can tell you right now I'm against abortion. And then if Vito says, well, what is an abortion? And I say, well, I don't really know what it is. There's no debate there. So we'll skip that. Next week. Go ahead, Vito D.
Listen, Donald Trump has spoken about the tax plan, and Elizabeth Warren has come out and supported his own plan. So what does that say, number one? And number two, once more debates come through and he stopped talking about foreign policy so much like we've seen in the last two debates, Donald Trump will not be able to go into detail with the policy and come out that he's not as conservative as other candidates on the stage like Ted Cruz.
Donald Trump has good ideas, I think, in terms of immigration, but when it comes down to it, the man's a Democrat. I'm sorry. You got great conservatives in Cruz. You got a great libertarian conservative in Paul. Why are we wasting our time with these people? We should be focusing and uniting behind one candidate who's consistent enough and has proven it in the past.
Yes, Rhino Jeb Bush. All right, so Vito, when you're ready to debate me on the hedge fund thing, invite me on your show, which you can plug right now. But invite me on your show, and we'll finish this discussion. We'll record it and play it on our show.
Just for the record, I do think I defined the hedge fund, but Mr. Gallo doesn't want to answer the question because he's a socialist in disguise.
Vito, this is my friend Vito Palmieri. Yes, this is what a hedge fund is. A hedge fund is something that begins with an H and ends with an edge. That's what a hedge fund is. That's not a definition, my brother.
Russ, you haven't given me any examples. I defined the hedge fund earlier for you. But listen, I don't want to take up your time. The Vito and Vito show every Thursday.
No, you can't use my Google to look for it. Yeah, keep talking.
Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check us out at vitoandvito.com. And we'll define what a hedge fund is, and we'll explain to you why no matter whether you make $1 or you make $1 trillion, it doesn't matter. You have a right to your own money.
Can someone have sent a search party for Vito D? Because he hasn't answered the question in about a half hour.
I feel like Ted Cruz is the beginning of the debate. Listen, as I said, Carly won this. We're going to see more with Donald Trump coming in the next couple of debates. I don't think he's going to go into great detail with his policies.
Vito D, can you just spit out some opinions with no